Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Kevin O'Connor. It is just gone 10 p.m. at night. I hope you are all well. In today's, I won't say this is a regular thing like I do it every day, but today I asked the question, what are you finding the most hardest thing about this challenge so far? And there were two things that came back, and they were, number one, getting to the gym and finding a good workout, and number two, tracking and logging everything in MyFitnessPal. So, also, before I went live 30 minutes ago, I asked if anybody had any questions, and John asked about protein and alcohol and cheat meals. So what I'll do is I'll talk about that first, and then we'll move on to the gym and the tracking that people asked about earlier. Okay, so protein. Now, anything I'm going to say from here on is my own experience. Look, I hate having to do a disclaimer, but I feel I should just in case. So I'm just giving you a disclaimer that anything I say here about protein or anything about working out or anything like that is just my own experience. I encourage you all to experiment and figure out for yourselves what's right for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you my own experiences and my own understanding about protein and cheat meals and that type of stuff, just based on my own experience. Okay, so I'm not telling you anything as fact, and I assume you know that anyway. So, protein. My understanding of why we need protein is because protein is used to help repair broken down and torn muscle tissue. So think of it this way. You go to the gym, we just use biceps, right? So you're lifting a heavy weight and your bicep is doing all the work. What's happening is when you lift, again, my understanding, not saying this is a statement, it's fact, but my understanding is when you're creating a resistance in your muscles, you're actually creating tiny tear fibers in that muscle. So for those of us that do leg day quite a lot and we don't like it and so on, it's probably because we don't do our legs enough. And I mean, I'm guilty of that. I do legs once a week. And don't worry, you heard me the other day, yesterday, I don't like it because it's hard. And the reason why is because our legs can carry heavy weight. Okay, our legs are strong muscles. And we tend to not really push, I guess, I don't really push lifting heavy all that much when I know I could. Like I know my biggest deadlift was 195 kilos, which is for me just over three times my body weight. So it's a lot. But I know to do that, I would be really putting my muscles, my leg muscles in particular, under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress and strain in order to lift that weight. So as I'm doing this and exerting myself and putting my muscles under this huge resistance and tension, it's going to create little tiny rips and fit in the muscle fiber. Okay, so think of it like this: muscle fiber, you're pulling it, you're tearing it, it's stretching, right? So my understanding is when you stretch the muscle, it needs to be repaired. It doesn't go back to where it was. What happens is the protein comes along and acts as a building mechanism to fill in the gaps where you've just torn. So protein will come along and build muscle in between where the tears have now been created because of the stress you put your muscles under. So constantly going to the gym over and over, you're creating these little tiny tears, and the protein is the building block, the amino acids that you take within the protein to help repair that damage, and therefore your muscles get that little bit bigger each time because you're repairing the tears. That's my understanding. Okay, so I take 148 grams of protein a day. Sometimes I'm under, sometimes I'm over. I don't at the start I was religiously like my meals are bang on getting those macros right. So I'm not looking to bulk up or anything like that. I'm just looking to do a good workout, get my heart rate up, and keep my shape. That's really what I'm looking for. So I'm not really too bothered about beefing up. So it's not a look I want right now. But that's not to say you don't want it, all right? But my understanding is if you take more protein in than your body needs, it gets passed through when you go to the bathroom, all right? So from my understanding, it's not that it's going to have another effect on you at all like that. But there is the whole thing that, you know, excess protein that gets passed through as urine is going to go into your kidneys somewhat. So whatever happens in there it's for your own research to figure out and see, is it something that taking a lot more protein, does it work with you? So I take, I think it's 2 grams per kilo of protein. So I should be taking about 128 grams of protein a day. I take about 148 to 150 odd a day. So that's protein. Now, cheat meals. Yeah. Don't torture yourselves. I have a cheat meal at least once a week. Saturdays, most of you know, I'll have a pizza. Sundays, I may also have a pizza. This process has to work. If you're going to go through this and just eat the same foods and not have any enjoyment while you're doing it, that's very hard. That's basically going on willpower, constantly thinking about nice food and having bland, plain food that you're not happy eating. So you've got to work out a balance that you can have nice food and you can have a cheat meal on the weekend. Remember, your meals, like tonight. Here's what I had for dinner tonight. You saw me post a picture the other day of a wrap, and in the wrap was 2 Quorn burgers, grated carrot, spinach, and cottage cheese. What I ended up doing was tonight I had exactly the same thing, only this time I had a little bit more carrot, a little bit more spinach, same 2 burgers, and I just basically split them down the middle, and I had 2 wraps. So I had the only extra cost of that meal for me was pretty much the calorie count of that wrap, which was 128 calories extra. So I had that to spare. So I basically had 2 dinners for the price of 1. So, and it was delicious. I'll have it again tomorrow maybe. Who knows? It was quick, it was easy, and it was tasty. So have a bit of fun with your meals, and but do have a cheat meal. But I will say, make sure you log in as well. Like, if you go to McDonald's or Burger King, all of this stuff is very, very easy to find online. How many calories are in each burger, each meal, in their fries, and you can find it all. So don't not do it. And that's we're going to talk about tracking now in a minute as well. So alcohol, John asked about alcohol and stuff like that. So I actually don't drink, so I can't give I can give an opinion, but I can't give you any expertise from my side or experience from my side about consuming alcohol. All I know is there's calories in alcohol, there's calories in wine and beers, and if you are doing your calories, I would say, factor in the alcohol. I mean, that they're calories at the end of the day, and if you're going to have a drink, maybe you should be logging it too. That's totally up to you, but there's a lot. Emma says there's a lot of calories in alcohol. Exactly. I mean, a bottle of wine might have 1,000 calories. And people would sit down and have a bottle of wine in the evenings. That's basically a really big dinner gone. So be smart about it. I mean, if you do drink alcohol and you're doing this and you are drinking alcohol, I will say make sure you track it, because you could be doing this and saying to yourself, "Oh man, I've been doing it 2 weeks. I've lost no weight. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing a calorie deficit. But sure, I'm only having 2 glasses of wine in the evening. 2 glasses of wine is 500 calories. I'm sure, maybe more. Right? Particularly if you're counting your calories, and all of a sudden, you're not losing any weight, and you start questioning this whole process and why you're doing it. And little do you know, it's the glass of wine you're having in the evenings. And the reality is it 1 or is it 2 or 3? So again, don't want to be preaching to you about alcohol, because who am I to be preaching about it? It's not my place. So all I'm saying is, if you're consuming alcohol, yes, I would be tracking it. Absolutely, I would be adding it in MyFitnessPal, because calories in need to be monitored, and calories in needs to be less than what you obviously, if you're doing calorie deficit and you're wondering why you're not losing any weight, and yet you're having a glass of wine or 2 in the evening, maybe have a look at that if you're not tracking it. Okay. So with that out of the way, I want to talk about the question I asked earlier, which was on day 11, what are you finding the most hardest thing to do in this challenge so far? Number one was getting to a gym, finding a gym, and working a program. Okay, so there's kind of three things, but it's all kind of gym orientated. And number two was, what was number two? Could someone remind me? It was the gym, and it was it meals? Oh no, tracking. It was tracking. Tracking and how repetitive and difficult it is to track all the time. Okay, so first things first. If you said to me, Kev, do you want to go to the gym every day or do you want to track your meals every day? What's the most important? If you could only do one, I would say the most important thing is to track your meals over working out. Because if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up anywhere. You know, if you don't know how much food you're consuming, then what's the point? If you're here to lose weight or put on weight, some people are here to put on weight. But if you don't know how much you're starting with, it's like starting off on a journey and the fuel gauge on your car is broken. And you have no idea, have you a full tank or are you empty? You don't know how far you're going to get. So isn't it best to have an idea of what you've got to work with for the day? So track, yes, absolutely. It's hard. I will tell you, for the whole process for me, the hardest part was tracking because it requires effort. It requires scanning food. It requires weighing food. Yeah, it's effort. It takes time. I know. I get it. It's boring. It's hassle. You got to barcode stuff. Thank God that we do have the ability to barcode stuff, because who would actually do it really? If the barcode wasn't so convenient inside the app, we probably wouldn't be doing it. So FitnessPal are doing their side of things by making it as easy as possible for us. With a database filled with pretty much anything that's out there on shelves, all we need to do, and I say all we need to do, it's effort, I know that. But what we need to do is put in the values. And yeah, it's effort. But the effort is the most important thing in all this, because that's where you get your results, in effort. You don't put the effort in, you won't get the results you want, because you have no idea where you began and what you're starting with. If you're not tracking anything, how are you going to know? Like, how are you going to know how far you've come if you're not tracking? And that goes with anything. What you weigh at the beginning of this process, what you weigh at the end of it. If you're not tracking, what's the point? You need to be able to create a contrast between where you were and where you want to be, or where you get to. If you don't have that contrast, you will get to the end and think to yourself, I look all right, I feel better, yeah, I lost a bit, don't know how much though. You're going to do the work anyway, so why not just do it right from the start? I will say again, I will repeat it. Yes, it's a pain in the ass tracking. Absolutely it is. At the start. You know, this is only day 11 for a lot of you, and day 1 and 2 and 3 for some of you. So no one's complained about their why. No one said that that's the hardest part as to why they're doing this, why they want to get in shape, why they want to be healthy. No one's complained about their why, which is great, because you shouldn't be complaining about your why. Your why should be nothing at this point. It should be the thing that gets you up in the morning. It should be the thing that gets you to the gym. It should be the thing that makes you track, because your why is the propulsion, is the momentum behind everything that you're doing to get you to where you want to go. So yeah, I'll repeat it again. Tracking is a pain in the ass, but you have to do it. Tracking, weighing, everything has to be done. Because if you don't do it, you don't know where you're going. So I'm sorry to kind of circle back around and keep talking about that, but it is what it is. It's what I did from day one. And yeah, it's hard. But it gets easier because it becomes a habit. You have a snack, you have your phone in your hand anyway, it's beside you on the couch, looking at Facebook, spend 30 seconds to log into MyFitnessPal. The rewards will be immense to you if you do this. That's all I'm saying, because this is where the hard work is. Knowing what you're consuming. When you start seeing in real time what you're eating, it serves as a constant reminder to you that maybe you should only have 3 chocolate bars instead of 5, if that's the way you're doing things. You need to be, it needs to be, how else are you getting feedback right now? The only feedback you're getting right now, I hope, is from the weighing scales, and you're tracking. Because I don't think anyone's getting their body fat measured yet, but if you are, great. But the feedback, you need feedback. You need to get this feedback. And weighing scales and tracking they're where you're going to get your feedback right now. I'm not going to give you the feedback. I don't know you. I don't know. I'm not pinching you with the calipers. I can't do that for you. So you need to get your feedback. And that's where you get it from FitnessPal. So, and it's great. As you start logging and you start putting your weight, you log your daily weight, after a while, they'll start sending you little messages saying, congratulations, you've lost 5 pounds. Congratulations, you're now, you lost 10 pounds. You get all this type of stuff, little encouragements. Not that you need it. Right? Your why isn't to get a buzz out of FitnessPal. But they're just trying to do their best by rewarding you by saying, hey, well done, pat on the back. So, to recap, you need to track. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. It gets easier. I promise you it gets easier. I promise you it does. Just get in the habit. Right now, you're being fueled by your why. Because that's what's getting you here. The why is why you're doing this. The why, whether it's your family, whether it's your health reasons, whether it's a promise you made to yourself as a child. Yeah, Emma says it becomes easier as time goes on, as you find you eat a lot of the same foods anyway, which is absolutely true. You do end up eating a lot of the same foods anyway. Actually, that's a very good point. Let me just elaborate on that. When you're logging your food, it remembers what you've already had. So as you start to type, it'll pull it up anyway for you. So as you're doing the groundwork now, next week, you'll start to see that the same food you've eaten have circled back around. And it makes things a whole lot easier. And yeah, the barcodes, so handy, like so handy. It's silly handy to do. They're really doing everything to help us reach our goals. And yeah, they're a business at the end of the day and they're getting something out of it, but whatever. We're the ones that benefit from this right now. We need the tools are there. Okay, so that's the tracking side of things. Now, getting to a gym, finding a workout program, all that type of stuff. So, I'm a member of 2 gyms, okay? And in one of the gyms I go to, I won Client of the Year, where I got a beautiful trophy, which is really nice. And the other gym I go, so there's 2 different types of gyms I go to. One of them is more, there's people there that will help you with your workout. They'll encourage you, they'll kind of like personal training, but not personal training, if you know what I mean. It's like semi-private personal training. So there's someone there that will, if you say, hey man, how's my form? Am I doing this right? So there is a difference. There's that type. And then there's the other type, which is there's a gym. It's like Anytime Fitness. There's a gym. In you go, get on with it. There mightn't be anyone there for supervision. There might be any of that type of stuff. So if you're unsure of movements, of your abilities, we're not, a lot of us think that we're as strong as we were when we were younger, okay? We're probably not, but we can. I mean, I'm stronger now than I was as a child, I'm sure, but I was a strong kid as well. So it's funny, then during my mid-20s, mid-30s, up to last year, it was just podgy. So if you haven't done much, it's probably a good idea to go to a gym for a month or 2 to get the moves, get some flexibility, and yeah, you're going to be sore. Your muscles are going to ache if they're not already. I'm talking like you can't even sit, but you can't even sit down in the toilet properly and you'll be in agony. Okay? That's on your legs. I've been there. It is a killer. So you need to get to that point, though. You need to kind of break open the leg muscles, and you need to endure that pain. And I don't know anything that prevents that pain. Rolling out your legs, whatever, nah. Remember, you've torn all these muscle fibers. That's what's happened. Good painkiller might give you some sort of relief going to bed, but I remember lying in bed. Anytime I turned, woke me up. Lying on my front with my chest being in bits woke me up. Oh, just I feel sorry for this. I feel sorry for some of you that are gonna. Oh, I'm just thinking about it. Oh, sorry. So for those of you that may be going through or about to go through that, go easy. Please, please go easy because it's a horrible pain. You'll have leg day that will give you pain for 2 weeks. So take it easy. This isn't a race here. This isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. You want to enjoy the process, not hate it. So, yeah, finding a gym. So, like, just to circle back around, if you haven't been to a gym in a long time and you're going to go start lifting a barbell and all that type of stuff, I would probably look to see, is there someone you could go to for the first couple of months to help you get your movements right, to help get the flexibility right, to be pointed in the right direction, just to get yourself a little bit more mobile and a bit more flexible. And then to figure out a program, which I'll talk to you in a second. If you just jump straight into an Anytime Fitness, how do you know you're doing the moves right? Because, I mean, I do a back squat, and I do it right only because I know that I do it right. If I didn't get taught how to do it right, I would probably be doing it wrong, and I'd be getting a lot of back problems all the time. So it's probably important to speak with someone. I mean, they're not expensive anyway. You know, I wouldn't say go spend $50 or €50 with a personal trainer. I'd say find a gym that has semi-private training that you could go to for a couple of months, get some flexibility, get some ideas, get some feedback about how you do things, because you might think you're doing it right, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I've been doing it wrong for so long. Sometimes it's even footwear makes a big difference. I mean, I was wearing a pair of trainers, and then I got a really nice pair of Under Armour trainers, real close to the ground. Big difference, big difference. It's hard to describe. I mean, it's hard to explain, I should say. Derek makes the point, no pain, no gain. In this case, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a pain you have to go through. So take it easy. Be shown how to do stuff. Enjoy the process and do a workout that you like, which segues me into doing a workout that you like. Now, I know a lot of you would prefer to do a home workout. Some of you do workouts at home and all that type of stuff. That's cool. Whatever works for you. I mean, I don't work out at home. I go to a gym. But I'm sure if there were no gyms near me, I would probably have some sort of a setup at home. I would probably do a calisthenics workout, which is just kind of body weight. So here's the thing about this. You need to adapt and figure out what works for you. If there are no gyms nearby that you just can't get to, and your life doesn't allow for you to be able to get to a gym, but you still want to work out, then obviously you're obviously going to have to work out from home, aren't you? There's no other way. So, like, I don't want to say stuff like, "Oh, get a bottle of water and do it properly." Like, lifting 2 liters of water, 2 kilos, whatever. Yeah, do that if you want, but I'd say take it seriously. This is a big change for you. So anyway, let's talk about programs, workout programs. Now look, I would always say, actually, this is what I do. Find someone online that you like their shape and see what workout they do. That's what I did. Okay, I looked at the Captain America. I looked at Wolverine's workout. That's a tough one. That's tough. So have a look at what you like. Have a look around. Whose body shape do you like? Because remember, the shape, the abs, all that type of stuff, the six-pack, that whilst that comes from working out, the muscles are defined. The muscles get growth from the resistance training you're doing. It's the food that makes everything appear, because you're losing fat, and that's what I found. So don't think if you do 100 sit-ups that's going to make your abs pop. No, it's just making the abs under the layer of fat stronger. That's all it's doing. You still need to get under the layer of fat to be able to see the abs. There's no other way around it. And another reality of all of this is I found that the waist section, the love handles, the belly button area, the abs, that is the last place the weight's going to come off. I have the photos. The shoulders start going. It's like the shoulders get good, the arms get good, the chest gets good, the neck, the face, the legs. I got veins in my legs, for goodness sake. from just low body fat and the muscle in the legs, and then the thighs, and then eventually the waist. So it's buckle up. It's a process. It took me 8 months. It doesn't happen overnight, but you will see changes, gradual changes. But this is what this is about. It's not. Listen, if you could switch, if I could take a pill and get a six pack in the morning, yeah, great. Everyone would take it too. Then everyone would be walking around with a six pack. We'd all be wearing the same size jeans. We'd all be wearing the same t-shirt sizes. Everyone would be wearing a compression top. We'd all be boring, right? So getting to the level that you want to get at requires effort, and it's not easy. It's not easy if you make it hard for yourself. Okay? And the way you make it easy for yourself is you make it fit into your life, not the other way around. You need to make workouts fit into your life. You need to find an eating plan that fits into your life. If you're the type of person, like I'm a vegetarian, so I would never eat fish or meat. So that doesn't factor into my brain whatsoever. Meat products, not at all. The smell of bacon doesn't bother me. People say, oh, what about the smell of bacon? What about it? So in the same way, you might think, oh, I could never be a vegetarian. Great. Well, then how you need to be thinking is the same way. You look for clean sources of protein and a variety of protein sources, but you will find that your meals, a lot of them are going to stay exactly the same. You've seen my photos: corn, cottage cheese, broccoli, spinach, rinse and repeat, change things around slightly. We all eat the same stuff. So don't sweat it. Don't sweat the tracking of the meals. Enjoy the process, eat food you like, and then just tweak it to suit your life. Don't make the food be the pedestal. Don't put food on the pedestal and make it the be all and end all. Whilst it is, I believe, the most important integral part of losing weight. Enjoy the process. Don't starve yourself. Don't go to bed hungry. If you are going to bed hungry, you're not doing it right. You've probably eaten too many calories earlier during the day. You haven't spread out your meals well enough. But don't go to bed hungry. Why would you? Why would you put yourself through that? This is your life. Don't go to bed hating yourself and waking up at 4 a.m. with a rumbly stomach. Have a banana or something. So, yeah, find a workout that works for you. If you can't get to a workout, if you can't find a workout, check out, just Google it. Google home workouts if you can't get to a gym. What I will say is if you do go to a gym and the person there offers you to give you a workout plan and so on, yeah, cool, follow it. But you'll probably find that everybody's doing the same one. Okay, that's typically how it goes. It makes their life easier to give you the same workout that they're giving everybody else. I feel that's what they're doing. You know, I'm not saying that they do it, but I think a lot of them do, just to make their lives easier, not yours. So everyone then gets an average workout, and everyone gets the average body that they either have already or they'll get slightly better if they follow their nutritional plan. So be creative. So what if you like Chris Evans' workout, Captain America? Who cares? Just do it. Now, I'm not tall enough to as much as I would like to be over 6 foot, I'm not. So, you know, his workout suits a tall person. Find who you like. Model theirs. You know, some gyms, some workouts may require you to go to the gym 5 days a week. If you can't do it, fine. Adapt it slightly. Speak to the person there saying, here's what I want to do. Here's the workout program I want to do, but I've got to fit it in 3 days. How do I do it? Let them tell you. That's what they're paying for. Make your life easier. Okay? Speak with a professional that's working there. You find a workout you like. Oh, look, it's a 5-day program. I've only got 3 days I can work out. Ask them to configure it for you. Why not? That's what they're there for. They're not there to chaperone you. They're there to help you. They're there to assist you. So put them to use. So, any more questions? I've been on nearly half an hour. Maybe I have been half an hour at this stage, so I don't want to take up any more time. If anyone has any questions, please post it. I'll see it. If not, we'll call it a night and we'll wrap it up. I do enjoy doing these. It's weird just me talking at myself in the camera, but I do know that there are people there and people will watch this later, which is great. So, it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So we'll finish it then. And we have Friday tomorrow. We have day 12, which is, Friday afternoon. We're now into the weekend tomorrow. People will be thinking about cheap meals, people thinking about taking it easy, as do 99% of the population will take it easy. So, but I don't think you guys are in the 99%. I think you're in the 1%. That's why you're here. So we'll leave it there. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, Emma. And I'll talk to you again all soon. Bye for now.